Hey, 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 here we go. Hey, here we go. Hey, here we go. Hey, here we go. Here we go with someone who I think is very fashionable and very sweet. He was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. Countdown today.
Go Spurs, go.
He attended Texas Tech University with a bachelor's in hospitality management and made his way to ATX. And he now works as a mental health recruiter and a fashion blogger. Hey, Francisco.
Hey, thanks for having me
No,
today.
thanks for coming. I appreciate you everything when it came to like advertising and making sure it gets out and
I'm
doing
so
the flyer
excited.
design and everything. How
This
are
is
you?
gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be super fun. How's it going?
Pretty good. I've had a pretty fun weekend and was getting ready for this, and I'm excited to be doing my first podcast with you.
Hey, yeah, no, I'm pretty excited too. My first live one, so it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have fun, and if y'all have any questions or if y'all wanna like make comments, feel free, and we'll make time to like read those and like answer those questions if you have any. So every time a guest comes on, I always want to do like an icebreaker, and I do two. One is like, what's your favorite song right now? Whether you can hum it, you can sing it, you can make the beat of it. What are you feeling right now?
I think right now I'm really feeling Doja Cat's new album.
Yes.
I saw her at ACL, and
That's awesome.
I think the song Get Into It.
Yes.
Get Into It, yeah.
Hey.
I'm really into that song right now, and I'm excited to get into this podcast.
Hey.
Yeah.
The song I've been listening to lately is "I Hate You" by SZA. It like came out like a couple days ago. It's like now if you wonder why, if you wondering if I hate you,
Yes.
I do. It's like it's that song that you like get ready to and you just yell it at the top of your lungs and like it's like that energy, like you don't want to keep that in, you know.
Yes, I love her.
So like, and the sound of the piano like is very it's like sad sounding, but like it's like very high pitched, so it's kind of like a toy piano.
Yeah.
So no, it's a really good song, really good beat, and SZA, like I like SZA a lot.
Yeah, I really like her. I love her music.
For sure. Another icebreaker that we do is just tell your customer service story, whether like you were the customer and it was like a weird encounter or like a upsetting encounter or like it was really great, or vice versa if you were the one like providing the customer service and it was like a weird encounter or like very unpleasant or happy.
Well, I guess right now at my current job, my recruiting job, it's a little bit of customer service because I'm reaching out to doctors and talking to doctors and trying to see if I can help them find a new job. And this past week, I actually had someone scheduled, and we were supposed to talk. And then when I reached out to talk to them, they were just kind of rude, and they were like, "Don't call me." And I was like,
no.
Okay, like this is interesting, but I guess sometimes people are just
maybe was
like,
in a
forget their
mood.
plans or something.
Forget do they have to like set an appointment with you?
Yeah, like
Okay.
we scheduled times, so it was like a scheduled phone call and everything. And I guess at the time of the phone call, maybe they changed their mind, and it was really interesting.
That's so weird.
Something you'd never expect for someone scheduling a job interview to be me.
Yeah. Yeah, because they knew like they were gonna have a conversation with you. That's the weird part about that. Okay.
I used to it happens often. Sometimes people just change their mind on a job interview or decide they don't want to pursue a job, and maybe they just cancel or don't show up for the interview. But this time I just got this angry text, and it was kind of interesting. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. Oh, no. Does that happen often to you?
Not too often, but there is, I think, in every job hunt, there's always applicants and people interviewing who are interviewing for a lot of jobs at the same time.
Yeah.
Or sometimes forget about their scheduled interviews and things like that whenever they're looking for jobs.
Yeah. A customer service story of mine. I just get a lot of we get a lot of weird cars in the lab. I work at Austin Regional Clinic in the lab, and with that, like we supposed to get like phone calls from mainly like nurses and techs and doctors. Sometimes a patient will sneak in that and it's like, how do you even get this number? You know, but one weird call that I had. So sometimes there's changes to a patient's order, and we had to like fill in that order. Whether that means like a new test added on to a patient's sample, or like making sure whatever sample gets to also to another lab that we use to just to verify like our results.
Yeah.
And one clinic had called and was like, hey, this is urine culture. We just gave it to a courier. So like once you get it, make sure you get your culture too. Like, okay. And so I'm not in charge of like making orders. So I asked like one of my other coworkers to like make the order first and then give back the specimen so we can do it. But when he went into the system, everything was already done. And it's like, you said that you wanted us to do it. Now y'all were going to do it. And then he was confused. He was like, oh, it looks like everything already been done. I was like, oh, why didn't they just tell us, you know, like just communication. His communication was bad at that time. So yeah, sometimes it's always best to like over communicate, I guess, better than not communicating at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, with that situation. So yeah, I guess tell more about yourself. Like, how was your upbringing? Are you the only child?
So I am the oldest of 3 siblings.
Okay.
And I'm the only one here in Austin. I kind of chose to move to Austin after college because it's close to my hometown.
Nice.
It's a little bit different than San Antonio, though. I think Austin's a little more cool. So I think that's why I'm primarily here.
Nice. I've never been, like, I've been to San Antonio. I used to play basketball. Like when I was in college, I would play on the club team and we would play against the smaller colleges over there. But I never got to like, I don't know, go explore the nightlife or like just explore like what all San Antonio offers. Like I went to SeaWorld when I was like 4 and then went to the Alamo when I was like 5 or 6. So I kind of barely remember like those moments.
Even now when I go, I always find new gems and new places, and it's such a big city. It's pretty cool.
Nice. So you enjoy being the oldest of 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like being the oldest. I haven't thought about how it'd be if I was not the oldest, but it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm the oldest as well. Yeah, I'm the oldest of 3 too. I have a younger sister and a younger brother. Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, snap. How far apart are y'all in age?
Me and my brother are 3 years apart, and then me and my sister are 8 years apart.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Me and my sister are like 3.5, almost 4 years apart, and then my brother are like almost exactly 10 years apart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What schools did you go to in San Antonio?
I went to Delview Elementary School, Delview Dolphins.
Hey.
I went to Jackson Middle School, and then I went to ISA for high school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy your high school experience?
Yes, I did. I was student council president, so
Hey.
I planned homecoming.
Nice. You did? What was the theme?
It was a space theme.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
It was cool. It was cool. I'm not gonna lie.
And then you went to Texas Tech.
Yes.
Why did you choose Texas Tech?
So I think I chose Tech primarily because I went to go visit and I really liked it. It was a cool town, really pretty school. I knew people older than me that were there, and everyone really seemed to enjoy it. So I was like, I think if everyone is happy there, then I'm sure I'll be happy there too. And I was. It it was a lot of fun. It was a great place to go to school and
That's awesome.
wreck 'em forever.
And then you got your degree in hospitality management. Were you
Yes.
able to like practice that or use that? Or do you feel like you use that now as a mental health recruiter?
Yeah, so my college was the human sciences college, so I took anything from like accounting, finance, HR courses, and then I also took things like culinary, event management, and things like that that were hospitality focused. And for my first few years out of college, I was doing hotel work and then also event planning.
Nice.
And during that time is when I really learned that I enjoyed recruiting and interviewing people, getting to know people, and I realized that that was kind of also hospitality and customer service, and that it was a career route I could pursue. I wish when I was in college I would have been more aware that recruiting was even a career path.
Yeah.
I never really thought about that as a career choice, like growing up or anything. And they say that's usually how people end up in this industry, though. Like, no one really thinks about it, and then you kind of get the opportunity. You fall into it, and I love it.
Nice.
It's so fun. Yeah.
That's awesome. Sorry, I got my notes here, y'all. It keep flipping. The pages keep closing on me. So yeah, how did you get into it? How did you get into being a recruiter? Yeah.
So I would say it was like fall 2019. I applied for a recruiting job with an agency that focused primarily on recruiting for events and different hotels around the city. So they would reach out to our agency, our office. It was a small team, and we would help them find employees, whether it was for different events in Austin, like ACL or football games. Or,
like big events.
Yeah,
That's
like really big events, like at the convention center and stuff like that. And so it was kind of similar in regards to my hotel experience, because I was interviewing and recruiting people for like similar things. And then after doing that for a while, and during COVID, I just realized maybe I should be doing recruiting in a different industry. And I think COVID was the perfect time for me to dive into a different type of industry. And I've always been really passionate about mental health. And when this opportunity was available, I just felt like it was the right next move for me. And it's been going really good.
That's good. So what do you do as a mental health recruiter, and what's that process like?
So right now I work primarily with like hospitals, clinics, private practices, and they'll tell my team we're looking for a behavioral health professional, whether it's a psychologist, a psychiatrist, psychiatric nurses. Primarily those three roles are the roles I recruit for, and then we help them find the right match. Every organization has different preferences and needs. Some people need people for, some people need like recent grads, other people need people with 10 plus years of experience. So then usually these places don't have someone to focus solely on finding these people for their roles. So then they hire us to kind of focus on it. And then it's kind of, I guess that's where the term headhunter comes in. We like try to find these really specific people for these really specific roles, specific jobs, and it's fun. It's challenging, but it's a really fun challenge.
Yeah. So you get reached out by the company that's looking for people to fill up their spots, or you get reached out by the person looking for the job, or both?
Both.
Okay.
Both. A little bit of both. My agency is like one of the most popular ones for behavioral health.
Nice.
So a lot of doctors and nurses know to like reach out to us and kind of network with us, so that like sometimes they'll call and be like, hey, I'm looking for this very specific job. So let me know when you have it. And then when we have it, we see if it's a good match for them, or vice versa. Organizations will be like, hey, we need another doctor on the team, or we need to add more people to our team. Can you help us
Oh,
find people? And then we're just kind of that middleman for all of them. And
that's awesome.
yeah,
That's pretty cool. So how do you coach people through that? People as in like
like
the job seekers.
job seekers, yes. I think when anyone is going through a job search, we all have this perfect scenario that we'd like to have.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes people really want to be in Miami working 3 days a week. And
Okay.
sometimes those very specific things that they want aren't necessarily available. And you kind of have to help them figure out which role is the best career step for them to pursue, and kind of guide them. And you're almost also kind of like a coach or therapist, just kind of listening to them and hearing and trying to figure out what they're really wanting to get out of their next career role, and
Yeah.
what they want to accomplish, what they want to be pursuing, and kind of help them figure out what's the best thing for them to do next.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna back it up a little bit. What have you learned about being in the mental health history and the job that you do?
I've learned a lot. It's been I will say it's a little overwhelming, but I think knowledge is power. So
Yeah, for sure.
the more I've been learning about the brain and about humans, I just feel like it's giving me the opportunity to kind of spread the knowledge and also like help the world
Be sane or
be better,
like,
be better,
be happy,
be
healthy.
healthier, be happier. It's really fulfilling, like to know that the things we're doing are helping other people with their mental health and with their lives, and try to make their lives better.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess like, what are some natural ways of coping, and do you think that's better than like prescribe? I guess this is a 2-for-1. I guess. Do you think that's better than prescribed drugs, or how do you feel about prescription drugs for like mental health?
I really think it depends on the person and situation.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who for sure have certain illnesses or things going on that need to for sure be on medication. But I think also right now, especially with everyone going through COVID, we have everyone as a whole has a lot of stress and different things that we're just trying to handle and maneuver and go through, whether it's like dealing with COVID, wearing masks everywhere, going to work, making
Getting
sure
vaccinated.
getting vaccinated,
Yeah.
making sure we're being socially responsible. So I think not everyone needs to be prescribed on things. And if you do think you need help, or you're thinking you need to see a doctor, you should for sure like go and see one.
You want to see a doctor?
A professional is going to be the best person to tell you whether or not you should get on any type of medication, or if you can deal with it in a different way, whether it's stress management or changing your lifestyle, changing your diet, changing the way you live your life, and kind of change your priorities or work on being healthier.
Yeah. What does that look like? Like, what are some ways of coping with stress, or ways of coping with other mental illnesses like depression, or anxiety, or
I think for me, in my opinion, the best way to cope with everyday anxiety and stress that all humans go through is to find things that make you excited or make you enjoy life. I think during COVID, I really digged deep into figuring out what do I like to do that makes me feel like I'm thriving? What do I like to do that makes me feel good? Gives me happy brain chemicals.
What's that for you? What's
and
that thing for you?
I think for me mostly it's working out,
Okay.
and also I've started fashion blogging, and
Hey.
it's been a good way to kind of be creative and get my mind off of whether it's work or COVID. I just kind of get to disconnect from everything and have fun and heal
Yeah.
heal through fashion.
And we'll talk more about your fashion blog in a minute. I want to go back to like the prescription drug thing. Like, you want to make sure like that a drug is right for you too. That prescription is right for you. Because I know I took Zoloft when I was like deep in my depression, and like it was working in the sense like I didn't feel depressed, but like it wasn't working when I didn't have any feelings. Like I was like a robot, like essentially.
Yeah,
So and I didn't like that feeling at all. I want to feel numb. Like I want to be able to still feel, you know.
definitely.
So I just stopped taking it after like, cause they say like about like a month and a half or 2 months, like it usually works. But yeah, like that wasn't for me. I tried started working out and, you know, making sure I touch the sun, you know, every day. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Vitamin D.
Yeah, it's vitamin D, supplements definitely like help out a lot too. So yeah, just make sure if you do have to get like prescribed for a mental illness or anxiety, just make sure it's the right one for you.
Yes. And I think your body will always send you messages or signs, and it's important for us not to ignore them.
That's one thing I want to I guess like one resource that I want to put out. If anybody is like low on money or like doesn't have health insurance or doesn't have like a counselor or anything, locally you can sign up or apply for a MAP program. Have you heard of MAP?
No.
I forgot what it's like I think it's medical assistance program. That's what MAP stand for. But basically like if you qualify for it, you can get you know, the same resources. You don't have to, it's not like you won't be insured or anything.
Oh, nice.
I know that's for Travis County. I don't know if like about like any other city if they offer like similar programs, but I'm pretty sure they do. Like if they have it here, they have it anywhere else.
Yes, I think there's definitely a lot of resources for everyone, whether they're uninsured or insured. There's different resources you can go to that can help you with either therapy or seeking a psychiatrist or digging deep into things that sometimes we ignore, and health is wealth.
Yeah, health
especially
is
our
wealth.
mental health.
Yes, health is wealth. Now I want to talk about like job tips or I guess like what should people ask for in a job? Like what should they do in the interview? What kind of questions should they ask? If they should ask any questions, things like that.
Definitely. I know every time I interview someone, I always ask them if they have any questions. And I think before I did recruiting, I always felt the need to have questions that I needed to ask at the end of the interview. But I think, honestly, I don't think that's necessary. If there is something naturally that you're curious about or want to know about, then you should for sure ask it right there when they're asking you. But I think that really doesn't make a big difference. Having questions prepared, I think that's a big interview thing that people always think, like you should have questions prepared for whoever's going to interview you. I don't think people really look into that. I also think having a very presentable resume will always make you stand out.
And what's an example of a presentable resume? Like what all should you include on your resume? How long it should be? All that. Good
I
stuff.
personally think a resume should be one page. It
Okay.
should, whenever you're looking for a job, I highly recommend looking at job postings for the job you want. So if
For
you,
example.
for example, like let's say you are trying to become a business development manager and you have previous experience that is going to help you get that job, but the person who's interviewing you wants to look at your resume and see what have you done that's similar to what you're about to be doing. So I think it's always important to look at those job postings, see what the duties are or what the requirements are, and then kind of make your resume match those things. So if they're saying they need a business development manager with customer service and making sure clients are happy, I would try to make sure my resume had things that were similar to that, just so that they can notice. Oh well, he kind of has similar. He she
Share the same
they
values.
have the same values, same has a background that works for this role, and I also think making sure your email and your phone number and your name are nice, big, centered,
Okay.
and pretty.
Okay.
If you have a big phone number, if your email is very easy to find, that's just gonna make it so much easier for someone to type in your
Reach
phone
out.
number, text your phone number, email you. If they can find your contact information really quickly,
Okay.
that's just gonna make it so much easier for them to reach out to you.
Okay. So make that prominent.
Yes.
What else like should stand out in a resume? Or is that everything that
I think fonts,
okay?
colors.
Any particular font or any
I think
colors?
whatever you feel represents you. I know I like to use a lot of blues
Okay.
in my resume just because it's my favorite color. So I'm showing a little bit of my personality. I'm showing what colors I enjoy.
Okay.
It's like it's a human thing. It's like sometimes I see people with maybe green or orange or really really interesting and unique fonts, and it makes them stand out because it's like they're trying to show you a little bit of who they are through their
Creative
resume.
side.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess you kind of like spoke about how you help other people with their job search, trying to cater to like whatever is important for them. I guess like their priorities in a way.
Yes.
I guess like what question I want to ask. We'll go back to that. So what are some in when someone like they turn in their resume, they finally get somebody who's interested in them, they get their phone call, they set up for an interview, they go to the interview, like what kind of questions should they be prepared for the most part? And then what questions should they ask like the interviewer? Yeah.
So I think in any interview, or not any interview, but I think a common interview question that people like to ask is, what's motivating you? Why are you looking for something new? Because everyone has different reasons they might be looking for a new job. So it's always nice from the beginning to find that out. Maybe someone's trying to move cities, or they've been at their current role for a while, or maybe they haven't been at their current role for a while and they just don't like their current job. And whenever you're able to find that out at the beginning, it says a lot about the candidate, and they're sharing a good amount of their personality as well doing that. So I would recommend interviewers or job seekers to kind of dig deep into that. What's motivating my next step? Why am I doing this? Is this for money? Am I doing this because I'm ready for a new role? Am I doing this because I'm not excited. You really have to kind of own what that reason is, because if you don't own it, then whoever's interviewing you is going to notice that, and they're going to be like, okay, this seems a little, they're not like keeping it real and like telling me exactly why they're looking for this new role. So if you're able to kind of be honest with whoever's interviewing you about that, and also just kind of share your background and share why you're qualified to do the job, why you would be good, why you'd be a good addition. I think it's very important to also kind of sell yourself.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there's multiple people interviewing for something as well, and it's like,
How you gonna make yourself stand out, separate from the
how do I
herd? I
make
guess.
a memorable experience for them? How am I going to make sure they remember me and remember our conversation, and that I'm the best person for this job?
Yeah. A friend had told me like a good question to ask is, what do you expect from the employee that fills in this position? A good question to ask like whoever's interviewing you, which I think is a good question. It gives
Like
you
if,
an
like the
idea
job
of-
seeker, like
yeah.
what should the job seeker ask the person interviewing
yeah,
them?
yeah, for sure.
Well, I guess sometimes if you really don't have anything you are curious about, sometimes you don't need to ask a question. I think job seekers sometimes think that you have to ask something for them to remember you, but maybe you had a really good conversation and you had this really awesome hour-long interview or 20-minute interview, and you felt that it went really well. If you felt it went really well and you don't have any questions, there's no need to ask a question just to ask one.
For sure.
But if something is popping up or something you're curious about that you want to ask, you should just ask it, because I think recruiters can also notice that whenever you genuinely are curious about something or are excited about something and you ask about it, whether it's like asking about what your day-to-day routine is going to be, or asking about your team that you're going to be working with, or even your pay, asking about your pay. And
Yeah,
being
don't
like,
be asked about that. Don't be afraid to ask about that, and like you
Yes.
can negotiate things.
yes.
Like,
And I think if actually maybe that is something everyone should ask, because that's if you ask about that and you're curious about that and you care about that, and you make sure they're aware of that, then they're gonna realize that you're serious as well, and you mean business, and you value your time, and you value yourself, and that you know you're gonna work hard and be a good person for them. And if you're not scared to ask about money, they're gonna be like, okay, well, this person means business. So yeah, that is something good everyone should ask about, actually.
And with that, like, what kind of benefits like should they be looking for in a job, and like, what does that look like, and how would it benefit them in the long run? Like, for example, like a 401k or like things like
I
that.
think every job has different benefits, and it all depends on what your needs are. Sometimes maybe a person who has kids is gonna probably be more prioritizing more like their health insurance and their vacation time because they have kids, or maybe they need a flexible schedule because they drop their kids off in the morning or something like that. And everyone has different things that are important to them. I know for me, something that I learned in my first few years out of college was that I really valued my weekends.
Nice.
When I first got out of college, I was working weekends and I hated it. I was a 20-year-old and I was working on Saturdays, and I was like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
So it took experiences for me to realize this is what I value. I want to be home for the holidays. I want to be off on the weekends, how can I make sure whatever I pursue next has that?
For
and
sure.
I think everyone has different things that they value or that they want their next role to have. And
For sure.
it's always important to kind of try to dig deep into those things too. Like what do I need in my next role? What are my like must-haves that I need to prioritize in order for me to feel happy and excited about my job?
Yeah, for sure. Like like I had like experiences with my previous jobs, and from like this one specific job, I now value like my relationship with my manager or like whatever supervisor I have, cuz like they're the ones who like look at you the most. They know your work ethic. And like y'all had to like collaborate and like work together in order to like move forward with whatever goal that we had to move forward towards. So like I definitely value like relationship with managers now.
Yes,
And
for sure.
I always like value like my time with my dogs and the people I care about. So I make sure like I'm glad I have weekends off now. I didn't used to have weekends off, but now that I'm glad I have like a little bit more time with like my friends and
Yes.
my girl and everything. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super important. So yeah, I just want to check the phone, see if we're not missing anybody or
questions?
anything. Hi, Jewel. Hey, Beth. How you doing? Long time no hear. Oh, snap. My food just got here, but share this after, and I will watch. Go Francisco. Joel says hi. Beth says, girl is killing it. Yeah, girl. Hey, Elliot. So now we're gonna get into like we're going through the last stretch here. So far so good. Like I'm
This has been fun.
yeah.
You're making me feel really comfortable
Oh, I'm glad. Like
talking about myself.
it might be this couch too. It's like
It
pretty
might be the
soft.
couch,
Yeah, it's pretty soft couch. So like fashion, blogging. One, how do you get into blogging? And like fashion. Why the topic of fashion?
Yeah, so during COVID, I guess I was watching a lot of YouTube videos and I was seeing videos of like people sharing cool clothes, and I watched this one specific video about this one influencer, and it was a 30-minute video, and she just kind of talked about how she got into doing blogging and her whole journey, and like why she did it, and like the perks of it, and why it was so fun for her. And I watched the whole video and it really inspired me. I was like, whoa, this sounds like something I've always really wanted to do. And I've always followed random Instagram follower people on Instagram, and I've always thought it would be fun. And I think during COVID I just realized like tomorrow's never promised.
True.
And I don't want to like regret not doing this.
For sure.
Or like look back 10 years from now and be like, why didn't I start this sooner?
Right.
And I kind of started spontaneously. I also applied for this blogging website called LTK, and
LTK.
you send in your Instagram information, and they go and check your Instagram and kind of see if you'd be a good blogger for them. And then they accepted me. So when I got accepted, I was like, okay, well this is a sign I should for sure pursue this and
Nice.
start playing around with this. And that was around April. So since then I've kind of been doing it for about 8 months now. And
Nice.
I've learned a lot in the past 8 months, and I'm having so much fun with it.
About fashion or about the blogging part?
I guess both.
Really?
I've always enjoyed like fashion and fun clothes and things like that. But then once I got accepted into this blogging group, I realized I could do it, and I was like, maybe I can pursue this and be good at it and enjoy it. And I've had a few paid collaborations, and I get gifted things as well, where people will send me either clothes or jewelry or sunglasses, or I've even gone with like a dermatologist once who kind of
Nice.
I create content and they will either pay me in exchange for the content or give me free products or fun, fashionable clothes. And
Nice.
it's really fun. And then on LTK, I can also link specific things that I'm wearing. So I can post certain things on my Instagram, and then my followers can go find those specific items and purchase them for themselves. And it's really fun.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you really enjoy it for sure.
I love it.
What has you been like a product that you use like often that you really enjoy from like those people that you like work with the blogging?
So there's this sunglasses company called Diff Eyewear,
Diff.
and they sent me 3 pairs of sunglasses whenever I first started, like in April, and they've been my go-to sunglasses since I've gotten. I've been wearing them all year. They donate eyeglasses to children in need for every pair of sunglasses sold, and I just really like them. They're really stylish, and it was really cool. It's I like sharing things with my followers that I would actually wear.
For sure.
So whenever people reach out to me, I always try to make sure it's something I would actually wear and something that's actually cool. Even the sweater that I'm wearing right now, I actually got it sent to me, and
nice.
Like,
it's really soft. Yeah,
you, yeah.
it is nice
I
when
was
you.
like, I can see myself wearing this, so yeah, I
Nice.
would love to collaborate and share this
With
with
more
my
people.
followers. Yeah.
For sure. And have you always been like? It seemed like you always had like a good sense of style. Like every time I see you wearing something different, and it's really good. And like you can rock a bucket hat. I feel like bucket hats are hard to style. You know. So
that's been another one of my favorites this year, the bucket hat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think so. I think I've always really appreciated self-expression through clothes. I think it's another way of kind of taking care of your mental health.
For sure.
If you dress well, if you feel well, then you're naturally going to have a better outlook on life. If you look good when you go into a restaurant or when you go into work and you know that you put in effort into what you're wearing, it's just gonna, people are gonna be able to notice that. You're gonna be able to notice that about yourself, and I think it's so cool, and it's really awesome that society now even values that. Like, I feel like everyone I know follows some sort of fashion blogger to get like outfit inspiration or just kind of see what they're wearing, and I think our society really cares about that.
Yeah, for sure. So what kind of stuff do you have on your fashion blog? Like what kind of stuff do you write about? Like do you write about, I know like a lot of people like to put talk about different like fashion shows or who wore what, who did the best at what. Like what do you like to talk about on your blog, and what kind of stuff you post on there?
I try to primarily post things that are
Hey Smash.
post things that are primarily attainable for everyone. Like I want to share things that everyone can afford, because fashion doesn't have to be expensive.
No.
You don't have to break the bank to look good. And I try to always share some of my favorite easy attainable brands, whether it's like ASOS, Nordstrom, Amazon Fashion. There's so many different affordable places you can shop at and look good and feel good. So that's kind of my main priority, is sharing attainable fashion. And I try to mostly share menswear and accessories.
Nice.
So like the bucket hats and the sunglasses and things like that.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, like literally these jeans, my sister had thrifted them from Goodwill, and she only gave it to me because she couldn't fit it. Like I found like a lot of good stuff on Goodwill and everything.
Yes.
And so Goodwill has been,
Sustainable fashion. I
yes,
think that's so important too.
for sure.
I think that's something else. I try to share things that I I try to buy things that I know I'm gonna have for a long time,
For sure.
because it's important to kind of make sure you have things that can last you a long time and
For
that
sure.
you're gonna enjoy for a long time, because we need to take care of the earth.
What kind of fashion stores do you go to, or what kind of stores in general do you go to?
I think during COVID, I've really transitioned into being an online shopper.
Yes.
So I get like there's like an excitement out of like just laying down and shopping online, and then
It's so easy.
yeah, it's so easy, and you get sponsored things all the time, and you're like, oh, I like this shirt, and then you kind of wait, and then it's like you get home and it's here. It's just, I think that's kind of been my main way of shopping during COVID.
Oh, what website do you shop on?
I think my favorite is ASOS.
ASOS.
ASOS is like my favorite
Nice.
go-to for work attire and fun social attire. But then I also shop at places like Target and Amazon and
Target has some
Just-
really good clothes too.
Yeah.
I think it's underestimated how
everyday,
good. Like,
everyday simple,
yeah,
affordable places. I think is important for me to share, because I want everyone to realize that it's very easy and affordable to dress well.
yeah, for sure. I guess. Oh, I guess one question I want to ask, talking about like blogging, like how can somebody start doing that, and what steps should they take, and what does that look like?
I think whenever I was starting off, I probably spent maybe 4 months just kind of watching things and like watching YouTube videos and scrolling on Instagram and like really seeing different bloggers, and everyone would kind of say the same thing, and I think I'm gonna say the same thing as well, as to just kind of start. If you
Just do it.
Just do it. If you think there's something you would like to share, whether it's fitness or your hobby or fashion or anything, just kind of don't be afraid to do it, and just start posting. Start posting and uploading and creating things, and with time you kind of realize what you enjoy doing, what you don't enjoy doing. I for a while would post a little bit of fitness as well, and I kind of after realizing, I was like, well, I don't really have as much fun when I do that, but I needed to just kind of try it for a bit and figure out what I enjoy, what do I like to do. But I think that's the biggest thing, is to just kind of jump into it. And just do it and try it and have fun.
Nice.
It's important to just have fun with it, because it should be fun.
Yeah, for sure. That's all the questions and like the topics that like we both collaborated on, and that's all I have.
Nice.
That's all the questions that that's all I have. What's next for you? Like as far as like with your job, what's the pathway for that, and like with your blogging stuff, like what do you hope to achieve with that, if you want to, or if it's just a hobby of yours? Or
I think even with this podcast, with my job, I really want to kind of be more available for people and be a resource for people, whether it's looking over resumes or helping people make their resumes prettier, or even helping look for jobs on different websites, or how to go about looking for your next job, or being someone that people can ask about their benefits or what they should be prioritizing in your next role. I would really love for me to make sure more and more people are aware that I'm available to assist with that, because I'm really passionate about it, and
it seemed like it, yeah.
it's very rewarding for me, and I really enjoy that. And I think for fashion blogging, kind of the same. I want people to reach out to me when they need advice on an outfit, or I want them to go to my website and go get outfit inspiration from me. And I just hope I keep getting fun collabs, and 2022 is going to be really cool. There's going to be a lot of fun new things with all of it. I'm really going to try to kind of combine them both. And I really want to kind of start sharing more on my blog about work attire and also just job tips as well.
Yeah.
Like job searching tips, and finding a way to make them both mesh more and make sure people know me for both.
Yeah. No, that's definitely doable. That's definitely doable.
I'm really excited for it.
Yeah. So I have like 5 questions that I ask all my guests. It's always the last 5 questions. You got it. So what confuses you?
What confuses me?
Yeah.
I think video games.
Video games confuse you?
Yeah, I've never been good at video games, so video games are a little confusing to me.
All right. That's very okay. Which moment would you relive?
Which moment would I relive?
Which moment in your life would you relive?
I think I would say like my childhood vacations, just when I was younger. That's for sure something I would love to relive.
Like what's an example of one?
I guess the one that comes to mind is Disney World with my siblings and my grandma. I think that's just a beautiful memory that it would be awesome to kind of relive.
Go back to. That's awesome. When was the last time you cried? Like tears, you could barely speak. You was like choking up.
Okay, well, Taylor Swift just released her new album.
Yeah.
So I guess when I'd listen to it, I'm a big Swiftie, and I got in my feels.
As you should. That's how it was with Adele's, like some of Adele's songs.
Yes,
on
her
her
too.
album.
I think I teared up a little for those songs too.
When was the last time you laughed hard? Like your stomach was hurting, new set of abs, hard.
Yesterday, actually.
Really?
Yeah, one of my good friends from college was in town, and whenever we're together, me, her, and my other friend Elise, whenever we're together, we just laugh all day.
Nice.
And it's so good for the soul.
Nice. And then lastly, what qualities does Francisco like about Francisco?
I think I would say my optimism. I really prioritize looking at life. The glass is half full. It's so easy to see the bad in things, but I think it's even easier to focus on the good. And that's something I really am proud of myself.
Yeah, for sure.
I always try to focus on the good, because that's how life should be. There's no need to focus on the negative.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's it. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for welcoming me in your home. And
thank you for having me. This was so much fun, and maybe I can do more of these.
Yeah, for sure. You can whenever you want to come on, we can talk about
this
stuff.
So
and
easy for me.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm glad. Is there anything you want to promote, whether it's like your social media or like any last words or like anything you want to promote?
I guess in the next few months, I'm going to be posting a lot more on Instagram and on social media, and really trying to be more consistent with it and having specific days of the week where I'm posting. And if anyone has any feedback or things that they want me to post about more, they can reach out to me or follow me, and it's from Francisco on Instagram. So and on LTK, that's my
LTK?
username. LTK, yeah. That's the name
I'll
of my
make sure
fashion blog.
And when I download the audio for the podcast, I'll make sure I include that, and I'll reach out to you about it. And
Yes. And thank you, everyone who's listening or who joined.
Yeah, thank you for everybody who's tuning in right now.